Hey, hey, hey. Did that work?
That worked.
I know. We're trying to do stupid TV intros.
Well, I think now that we figured out that's rerun.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
Right.
He passed away, I found out. I read his bio after.
Really?
Yeah. 6 wives. He married 2 of them twice.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
So those suspenders were not a clue.
Exactly.
6 wives.
As I predicted.
Well, wasn't he playing a character on TV? So
Yeah.
Yes.
the suspenders don't mean anything, dude.
Thank you.
True.
6 wives.
It's like you play a locomotive on a podcast.
Yeah, that's all fake. It's all fake.
Happy birthday, by the way. Day late.
Late birthday.
I'm feeling younger than you today. This is my
are.
6 weeks of glory.
I know, right? I'm the oldest one
The
in
younger
studio.
podcast. You are the oldest one in the studio.
Yep, and the most experienced.
That's why you're the locomotive.
That's
I'm the
right.
youngest.
How was your birthday?
It was. I was a little under the weather. I did my second COVID shot, so I'm fully vaccinated. So I'm like going unprotected from here on out.
Wow.
Yeah, going solo.
Look at you.
No, I'm just kidding.
Did
I
you
still wear a mask?
Yeah,
because I'm a good American.
Absolutely, and
Well,
you can always be a carrier.
It's not 100% effective either.
Well, you can always carry
I'll
it.
take 98% all day long.
Absolutely.
And run with
but
it.
if
Agreed.
you don't wear a mask, then other people aren't going to want to wear a mask, and then it's just a chain
That's right.
reaction
And then
that we don't
it's-
want to deal with.
And then we just like crumble down to nothing.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Society falls.
Well, tell me
apart.
about. You said you got your second shot. So what was the issue?
Well, this is good. Well, you know, I was a little under. First off, my first shot, I didn't advertise it, right? But my first shot, sore arm. The next day, that's about it. Like maybe a little sluggish, maybe. Okay. Next day, like definitely, like wow, felt like somebody punched me in the shoulder. Okay. And the first one was so easy, I didn't even know that they did it. I was like, "We're done." She's like, "Yeah, I'm done." I'm like, "Okay." And then I was thinking to myself, I don't think this lady actually gave me a shot because I didn't feel anything.
Placebo.
First off, the needle's super small. Secondly, like I didn't feel it. So
This is Moderna.
Okay, right.
Second
So,
shot?
Second shot, felt it, bled after.
Wow.
Bleeding, and then I'm like, damn, man. Like I hope that's not the shot that bled out.
That's right. You need
like
vaccine.
you put the shot in, and then it like rolls back.
There goes
down
the
my arm.
vaccine.
I'm like, do I have to get another shot? She's like, no, you're good. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, this chick, like it leaked down my arm. I'm gonna get sick from COVID, right? Well, then I was a little under the weather before the second shot, and I didn't want to say anything
Right,
because
you
I
want
want the shot, right? I'm not gonna be like, oh, technically I'm a little sick.
That's right.
So I got the second shot, and probably my little sickness turned into like. This is on the third day before my birthday. I was pretty much like, okay, I'm just going to lay down. I already worked out, and then I was just like exhausted. And I'm like, damn, that workout killed me. And I was like, I must be a little. But anyway, I go to bed early on the third. And then yesterday all day, I was pretty much just.
Not 100%.
Not sick, but it's just like.
And it wasn't just because you were feeling old on your birthday.
No.
It was from the shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, good job getting vaccinated. That's good. Our mayor is
I am one of the.
immune.
5%
You're one of the
Americans
immune.
that are double
I heard it's double digits now, 10%.
20% have got the first shot.
Right.
20% of Americans have the first shot. It's 10%.
I heard
both of them?
10%, I think, overall. So, hey, Linz.
I've always wanted to be in the upper 10%.
Since we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, why don't you do your thing? We got a great guest coming up, by the way.
An Olympian.
Mayor Wayne an Olympian, even more importantly.
Wayne Seybold, mayor of Marion, former mayor of Marion, Indiana.
And a pairs ice skating Olympian.
Yeah,
On his Wikipedia page, he's listed as mayor first and then Olympian.
good.
Which I think is
That's the
funny.
way it should roll.
Let's hear it, Linz.
You're listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from important events of the day in the Midwest and the nation, all while having way too much fun while doing it. If you can't get enough of us, follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LockPod, LOCPOD. If you cannot listen in live, please download our episodes from the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio apps. Also, don't forget to subscribe and rate on those apps as well. That gets us more attention. Just search Left of Center, look for our red and blue logo. Also, do you own a business? Do you have something to say and money to give us? Send us an email at steve@lockpod.com, and you can get an ad sponsorship started right away. We'll say whatever you want, or let the locomotive
Steve
improv.
app. Or you can wear your item.
I like how the locomotive's like just rolling off the tongue now.
Well, I mean,
It was all BS at the beginning, and now you guys are running.
it's not
with it.
it's not
I like it.
necessarily like a compliment from all of us. It may be like almost like tongue in cheek or
Really?
like sarcasm.
It doesn't seem. It seems like it's
It seems
total
like we're-
respect. Yeah.
Total respect.
I'm
Because this pod is full of total respect.
totally right. I'm already lining up my lower back stamp
Stamp
of the locomotive. Just a huge locomotive.
I'm surprised you didn't debut that on your birthday. Hey, Marissa.
It's going to. I'm working on it.
Marissa,
it's going to be a
good news.
surprise. I'm just going to come home just like,
It's got
check
Mark
it out.
Anderson designing it.
There you go.
as
I
we
got
speak.
Mark
got
Anderson's design.
a humongous
Stamp track.
locomotive on my lower back. You could look at it every time I walk away.
Can't wait. I can't wait to see it at the pool this summer.
Hey, speaking of locomotives.
Yes?
I think we have something for
For our locomotive?
Our locomotive.
Oh, it's coming. We're doing it?
I think we have something for the locomotive.
What's
All
up,
right.
Steve?
That worked.
This is
John,
a little
that-
forced.
John,
is
that
live.
Was, John, that was great.
Yeah, you guys like it very smooth.
I thought we were...
Hey, just relax. All right?
Just
relax.
I hope it's. What's up,
yeah,
Steve?
all right.
By the way, our new
Oh,
business
man.
manager is killing like the sales, huh?
I don't know. We haven't really finalized anything yet, so let's...
What
All
is
right.
this?
4 foot card.
Yes.
Hell yeah!
And it's not even Valentine's
Oh
Day.
my God, that's awesome!
Thank
I got
you.
a 4 foot card.
Thank you, Misprint.
Marissa is gonna be so excited when I get home. Boom shakalaka! That is awesome. Thank you.
Happy birthday to the locomotive.
I love it.
Little
Thank you,
idea by our
Misprint.
business manager.
That's a good job.
Union
good job,
printer,
Steve.
by the way. Great
That's
work.
Misprint, I imagine. The 4 foot card. This is a 4 foot card. That's
what they
like
look
we've
like.
been making jokes about this all year. Happy birthday, Mayor. From Steve, the Magic Man. Happy birthday from your daughter, Lindsay, who loves you more than any other kid you
Wow.
have. That's so sweet of you, Lindsay. I
I
appreciate
just
that.
wrote it.
You were like, what can I write quickly?
I think
Happy-
he's improving.
Happy 25th birthday from the caboose. Thank you, Kevin.
I
Appreciate
don't want to
it.
get you too old too early.
Happy birthday, bro. John Vez.
All
you
right.
guys are beautiful. Love. This going on the wall, right?
It's going somewhere. I don't think it's going on the wall.
I love it.
Put it in the corner.
I'm putting it in the corner here. I got my 4 footer. Hey. Is this
There
on
you
the
go.
shot?
Congratulations.
Right there? That's in the shot, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's in
It's
there,
falling over,
and it
but
just
we'll
fell
get it.
over. But it's live, man. You
It's
know?
live podcasting. Well, anyway, happy birthday. Good job,
Gracias. I appreciate it.
Steve.
Also,
Thank you.
just-
How much does that run you at Misprint?
Well, let's do the ad first.
All right, let's go with the 4 footer. Misprint printing with both Munster and Hammond locations. Rick Baltonsberger and his team are there for absolutely all of your printing needs. He's responsive, he's fast, and he's good. You can make that sound different. He's responsive,
Right.
he's fast,
Build it up.
and oh, so good.
There-
Right?
I don't like that one.
Banners and signs of all sizes, from wrapping cars to business cards. No job is too big or too small. Call for the 4 footer. It's a great business idea, great birthday idea. Call Rick or Teresa at 219-836-2517.
Latitude Commercial is a full-service commercial real estate brokerage and property management firm specializing in northern Indiana and the Chicago suburbs. Local tenants to national developers have benefited from Latitude's experience in the commercial real estate market. When you select Latitude Commercial, you get Chicagoland expertise with worldwide marketing and networking ability. Whether you're a developer looking to sell, a tenant looking to expand, an investor looking to purchase, or just an owner in need of property management services, Latitude can help. Contact Latitude at 219-864-0200 or at Latitude Co. That's latitudeco.com so they can get to work for you.
Marissa got me a cool gift yesterday.
Really.
The immersive, is it immersive Van Gogh?
Immersive Van Gogh.
That is, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
cool.
an
I'm not-
immersive Van Gogh experience.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
it's when, you know the one you
I
walk
heard
in.
about that. Yeah. When do you go?
I don't know. It's
That
like
sounds
another
It's in
cool.
couple
May.
months.
It's already in his calendar.
It's on my calendar.
Very
Marissa
nice.
conspired with Lisa, quote unquote. Eva.
Oh,
Lisa.
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 Known
one
as,
that's on
known
Tinder.
as Bumble.
The one that's on Tinder.
Is she on Tinder now? She switched over.
Whatever one it's on. Bumble?
Bumble.
Oh, my bad.
Very cool. Well, good. That's going to be fun.
Very cool. Ron J. Prestomer Insurance Agency has been located for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, serving all of your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Prestomer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses all around Chicago and the Midwest. Call Ron at 219-844-0103. That's 219-844-0103.
Beam Longest and Neff. Beam Longest and Neff, BLN, is an award-winning.
We already did this one, dude.
We did?
Yeah, you just did
Did
it
we
last
read
time.
BLN?
Yeah,
I wasn't paying attention.
yeah.
All right. I didn't read it. I read Latitude.
You read Latitude?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my bad. Then do Beam. Why did you
Thank
go out
you.
of order?
Because I got the wrong copy for you versus me.
Okay,
We're
my
good.
bad.
Beam Longest and
Yeah,
Neff.
whoa.
I know.
Hell of a bit.
Yeah. Take two. Let's stop. Kevin,
I wasn't
in
listening.
mid-sentence.
I wasn't listening. I'm just
You're
like
supposed to know our sponsors when we read them.
I'm not
I didn't
like
read
analyzing.
BLN yet.
I have like a lot of stuff going on. You know?
I see that.
Like being the locomotive.
Well,
of
you're
the show.
50,
I'm
you're
always
52
like
now, so things are very fuzzy right now.
so when, it's so when it's your birthday, we got to get you a caboose card now.
Something, yeah.
The caboose.
Yeah, something at the
It's
rear
a nice
end,
caboose.
the rear end of things. Beam Longest and Neff. BLN is an award-winning consulting firm with experience in all facets of infrastructure projects. Founded in 1945, BLN has provided decades of expertise as a consulting firm. Guided by third-generation leadership, the core group of BLN partners and associates strive to remain leaders within the consulting community. Their history and experience has helped them define a clear vision to work toward total client satisfaction. For more information, call us at 1-800-382-5206. That's Beam, Longest and Neff, BLN. So wait a minute. Let's get back, and thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you to our sponsors for making this show possible.
We appreciate
Without
you
our
helping us
sponsors,
paying the bills.
All the listeners, the thousands of people listening to us right now,
the many thousands,
could not possibly listen to us without our sponsors. So like, go to Beam Longest and Neff and order a bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
Go to Misprint.
Go to Misprint and order a 4-foot
Get a
card.
4-footer. Get some insurance from Ron.
That's
Damn
right.
it! You got to get some insurance.
And don't forget,
get some renters.
Don't
or
mention
homeowners.
Latitude though.
Yeah, no, go buy a damn building, and when you do, you go to Latitude.
That's it.
Because of left
You can
of
do it
center.
all here.
Right.
You can build a bridge,
Build a bridge.
buy a building,
buildings.
buy a 4-foot card, buy a 4-footer,
and insure yourself.
and insure yourself.
Right.
All
Everybody
here.
needs more insurance, right, Kevin?
Without a doubt.
Kevin's
You can't-
always pushing me on insurance.
Yes, I am.
You
much
are.
to your dismay.
I know, and I'm always.
Well,
I'm always
I guess,
bitching about it.
from a lawyer perspective, I've seen the flip of it. I've seen when
Right.
people don't have insurance and get hurt, or like somebody runs in, somebody crashes into you and you don't have uninsured motorist coverage. It happens.
You know what Kevin was pushing real hard, guys? Like
Yes.
insurance for defamatory statements. He was pushing real hard on that.
We're just
Why?
about ready to finalize
He's super
that.
worried about himself
We
slipping and
still
saying
are
something
pushing
defamatory.
for it.
Yes,
We've
we're
got
almost
the
there.
form
Now we're
in
there.
our email.
I could defame people now.
No,
Oh.
you can
Not
never.
yet.
No.
Not
Do
intentional.
not.
If
Do
it's
not.
unintentional,
Not yet.
No,
isn't
defaming anyone today.
Isn't defamation an intentional tort?
It is an intentional tort.
But what if it's unintentional? I just unintentionally defame somebody.
I guess that would be an issue for the jury
Thank
to
you.
figure out if you were
So
intentionally.
we'll go to
doing it
trial
or
and
not.
test it.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll ask Judge Marissa.
Yeah.
Or the
I don't think
jury.
it'll be in the circuit
I don't
court.
think so either. So let's just do me a favor and let's just not defame anybody. Today.
I'll hold off.
Thank you.
Right.
Let's go back to the shot real quick because I know this week
The shot?
the shot
Oh.
the COVID shot 50
Second.
and over this week,
Yeah.
and then I noticed this thing about teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By
go-
the way, like the easiest political layup in the history of Indiana.
So I'm so happy you're saying this. Go ahead.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
using a basketball
Yes.
analogy, right?
Yes.
It's Indiana.
Yes.
Governor Holcomb. He's a listener. Okay.
I hope so.
I'm talking to you, Governor. Like, you had the easiest layup in the history of politics.
Yes.
All the teachers in Indiana think you hate them. Right, Kevin?
I think they believe he's against them because no raises, not enough education funding. They've been again. They rallied at the State House
Right.
last 2 years ago when he was running. Yeah.
So, like, the state has been unwilling to give them raises. The state has been unwilling to help them with their working conditions. The state has been unwilling to help in a lot of ways. So,
And they organize really well, by the way.
dude, absolutely will, right? They
Wear
had-
red for education.
Right? So,
Yeah.
like, they literally tossed you the ball, and you were underneath the basket on this one. All you had to do, and you're a big guy, all you had to do is, like, hold
I've
your
seen
hand
him
up
do
in
a
there,
layup. He's
right?
pretty good at doing
You could
layups.
easily put this ball in the basket, right?
Without a doubt.
And all you had to say is, if you're a teacher, you can get vaccinated in Indiana.
Yep.
That's it,
Show your teacher card.
right?
Whatever
Like, and
that
then
is.
the teachers would be confused by that move because
They're
they're
like, well, at least he didn't screw us over on the vaccine.
right? Like, he's hated us, he's opposed us financially all the time, and then he turned around and let us get vaccinated early.
It is so easy to do, especially because, by the way, and this is to Governor Holcomb's credit, he's done a great job with rolling out the vaccine versus
Right.
other states. He's
For
done
sure.
a great job
For
with making
sure.
sure people of this age group, all the way down.
Listen,
just
I
have
have
teachers.
I have relatives all across the country right now, and we're among the fastest states.
Without a doubt.
Out of my unofficial survey, we're among the fastest. The fact that I'm double dosed already is like,
I give him credit. I give him credit for rolling out the vaccine as he did.
I do too.
The online thing is easy. So I'm a teacher. And by
Right.
the way, so now he lost that because you know what's happening, right? The federal government and President Biden has said teachers get priority.
That's right.
But you have to go to the pharmacies.
So-
where the federal
So Joe
vaccines are going.
Biden stole the basketball.
Without a doubt.
Ran across the court.
dunked it.
And slammed it like with a backwards jam.
Yeah.
Like, and Holcomb was underneath
Great
the basket.
basketball analogies,
Thank
by the
you.
way. Look
Like,
at you.
I'm not even a basketball guy.
I know.
But like little Joe Biden, 74-year-old Biden, steals the ball
Sleepy
from Eric
Joe,
Holcomb.
if you listen to the
he like goes down,
President Trump.
flies through the air, backward, jams it into the hole.
Yes,
And
like
Holcomb's
Space
sitting there
Jam.
like, what the hell did I do? I could have jammed this
Michael
home
Jordan
easy.
Space Jam.
Right? So Holcomb, Come on, man.
So easy. Well, it's
Dude,
too late now.
You need more political
Well,
advisors. He does. He needs somebody whispering in his ear like, Eric.
It's an easy one.
They gave firemen and policemen. I would have 21, 22-year-old, first responders getting vaccinated.
Lindsay got vaccinated because of a healthcare worker. She's 29 now. Whoa.
You're not on. What's that?
My second vaccine is next
So
week.
the point
But
is,
you know what I'm saying, Lindsay? When you were teaching, and now everybody knows you're a nursing student, but when you were teaching, Linz, you got the feeling that the state didn't support you,
Oh, hell yeah.
right?
100%.
Right. So, like,
Even
what
I was
would this?
working at a charter school, and I still, it's a little different for charter school workers. But
Right,
I used
because
to work
Republicans
in the public
like-
sector also, and I didn't. No, Indiana does not value education over other things. It's 100%
it was and it
true.
would have been an easy plus. Like, hey, you know what? I care about you. I care about your health. I care about our kids' health. We're going to vaccinate you. And the way he's playing it is, once it gets to 40 and over, which is the next step, right? After we get down from 50, it's going to be 50%. Over 50% of the teachers are then eligible to be vaccinated. But that's not the point. You just missed like you said, Mayor, you missed an easy political deal.
After months of waiting, educators of all ages are now eligible to receive the vaccine. Although in Indiana, because of restrictions placed by Governor Holcomb and the state of Indiana, the teachers must use Meijer, Krager, and Walmart, which are part of the federal pharmacy program.
Right, because it's through the federal vaccination program.
Because in
President
Indiana,
Biden.
we're saying still,
Age only.
You teachers can't get vaccinated if you're younger than 50.
Right.
Which is so
crazy.
ludicrous and ridiculous.
crazy.
What's the matter, man?
And by the way, it's
I don't
all,
get it.
It's
It's literally, to me, like, I'm trying to be objective here.
Yeah.
It looks to me like the state of Indiana hates teachers. It looks that way. And that's what the teachers are saying. And I'm trying to be like, no way. They don't hate teachers. And then you're like, why wouldn't you give them the damn vaccine?
And we don't have to go back too far in Indiana political history to realize that the teachers organized pretty well. In fact, in a state that many
Pretty well.
consider so red,
You said
they
pretty
were
well.
able to, very well, extremely well.
They're
Because
one of the more effective lobbying groups.
they elected the superintendent of schools back when we could vote for that person, Glenda Ritz.
They did. They turned
almost single-handedly.
They turned a Republican state Democratic in that race.
Yep.
And against
Not easy to do.
Against
on a down ballot race.
And against a Mitch Daniels appointee. What was his guy? Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he was like a total right wing. Like you would have thought he would have easily carried Indiana, and he got his butt kicked because of the teachers.
Teachers organized.
That's right.
Yeah,
and then these is the same group we're disrespecting, and we'll let a 25-year-old firefighter get a shot, but we won't let a 25-year-old teacher that gets sneezed on by 30 kids every morning, we won't let her get the shot.
That's right.
It doesn't make sense.
Agreed. And by the way, wouldn't you want as a parent of a young child in elementary school, or maybe, I know kids don't get it like adults do, but I'd like to know my kid's teacher's vaccinated. Oh, then she can't be sick and give it to the kids. It's the same thing. I just think it's ridiculous. You're right.
So like yesterday, could we transition here? Is President Trump in charge now? Because I heard that on March 4th he was taken back over. John, did something happen yesterday? It was my birthday, so I was checked out.
Not that I know of.
QAnon said that he was going to
I
mysteriously
thought President
be placed
Trump was
back
coming
in,
back in. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk.
No,
over you.
go ahead.
Like March 4th is my birthday. Okay,
It is.
And I've always known this little quirky thing about American history because March 4th is my birthday. That March 4th was the original inauguration day, Kevin.
In the Constitution.
Right. Before the 20th Amendment, right?
True.
Could you talk a little bit about why the 20th? Now we know that the president takes over what?
January 20th at noon.
January 20th at noon. So could you talk about why that was? You and I went through this a little bit yesterday.
So it's a little interesting. Here's a history lesson about the 20th Amendment. It used to be March 4th. Why was it March 4th? When the election was in November, because it took that long for the country to actually count votes. If you think about it, right? If you were
across the entire country,
when Andrew Jackson was elected and the Tennessee votes had to be counted, think about how long that would have taken.
Well, how about Texas?
Yeah, or all across the state. So each state,
Florida, like getting the votes to Washington D.C. to count
before there was trains or
internet.
Absolutely. Get the electors.
And how about this? Okay, so let's say
capital.
I'm a president from Illinois, like Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
and I get elected, and I find out in like the end of January that I won. No, I guess it would be, it'd probably be more like December.
Yep.
I found out I won, and I live in Illinois, and it's December. And I'm supposed to get to Washington, D.C. within the next month and close down my law office and do all
Not
this
easy
stuff.
to do.
Right? So they said, okay, let's push it back into the spring. March 4th, it's reasonable amount of time because it's 1860. It's hard to get to Washington, D.C.
Sure.
from Illinois in the middle of winter, right?
You have to get all the electors to their state capitals. You have to get the electoral ballots to Washington. So it takes a while. And that's an interesting thing about 1860 when Abraham Lincoln won. Between the time he won the election and the time he took office on March 4th, 7 states seceded.
And Abraham Lincoln
Could do nothing about it because he wasn't president.
That's right.
It's crazy.
He was watching watching the country crumble in
Think
the
about
5
that.
months between his election and when he took over. So, like, they said, we got to shorten his time. There was another precipitating factor that happened when FDR took over. Now, consider this. Stock market crash in 1929. We get into the Great Depression at the time. FDR gets elected over Hoover in 1932, right?
Yeah, that's right.
FDR takes over and has the same 5-6 month waiting period before he could jump in. And we're in the middle of the Depression.
The worst depression ever.
And we already learned that Hoover, who sounds a lot like a former president that we used to have, Hoover didn't really care about the plight of the homeless and the fact that people were poor. In fact, homeless camps, they called them Hoovervilles back then, right?
That's right.
So Hoover, who had already proven that he's not too interested in the despair of Americans are facing in the Great Depression, we vote for FDR. FDR can't take over for 6 months.
Can't implement the New Deal.
So he has to wait until March before he jumps in.
And then he has to get it through Congress. So it's all right. So it's interesting. Right now we're at January 20th.
And then they passed the 20th Amendment that says we're going to change the inauguration date from March 4th to January 20th.
There we go.
And by the way, thinking back on the latest transfer of power we just had,
Thank
can you
God.
imagine if Trump was president until March 4th? Until yesterday?
Well, and just think, right, because it would have all been like stop the steal, all this like conspiracy theories. That
More
he's gonna
riots.
He's gonna, right. The
COVID?
military is going to keep him in power.
Do you think 20% of Americans would be vaccinated if Trump was still president?
I don't know.
I don't think so. John, do you dare to?
Yes, I do.
I don't think so. I think that Biden has done a great job in regards to the vaccine. I really do.
I think it was, I would say this. Operation Warp Speed was pretty good under Trump. I mean, he got the vaccine going. I don't know what he would have done with the rollout because I think he would have been pushing like, oh, yeah, Texas is doing a great job. Get rid of the mask mandate. Go ahead. Let's go. Let's get back to normal.
What do you think, Jay?
I think it kind of was a snowball downhill by the time Biden got in. I don't see anything he did as being like turned a corner. I think it was just kind of going on.
So it was going to happen anyway, no matter what?
I think it was.
I don't know. I mean, I think the vaccines would have been in place, but I
Do
don't
you think teachers would be getting shots right now if Trump was president still? Nope. You know why? Because teachers are Democrats.
But state by state, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
But the federal mandate came down allowing teachers to get shots. The president made that decision.
That's right.
Right? Is there any way President Trump does that?
I don't think he does that.
Hell no.
I don't think he does
He'd
that.
be like, teachers unions
because he would have
are
pushed on the
corrupt.
states.
Teachers unions don't vote for me. Therefore they're not going to get the shot.
I think he was all about pushing it on the states.
I could see him not doing anything about teachers and just letting them come in, maybe just based on their age.
Right.
Well, it seemed like he was more like, hey, the states are going to do this. I mean, he really, like, even early on, remember, like, where, like, when the Defense Act and, like, New York was doing this, early on, I'm saying, he was like, well, the states got to do it. If the states aren't doing their job, he was more of a let the states do it guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I think he was just like, I got this Operation Warp Speed, and
that's all I needed to do.
See ya.
Yeah, right. I'm out.
And he just thought the states would do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So anyway, hey, I want to, before we get Mayor Wayne in here, I want to make sure everybody knows there's some voting going on right now for someone that's defending his crown.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean, we don't want to forget this. This is important.
Best mayor in the region? Yeah, I feel weird voting for
we're pumping.
myself.
We're pumping it up here. I especially because Mayor Bill's trying to take the crown from you.
So is Mayor Dave.
We can't let that happen.
Make no mistake about it.
I
Mayor
noticed
Dave's
on the Times
campaigning
website
too.
there's 3 ads: yours, Mayor Bill, and Mayor Dave. It is like game on.
I didn't even think I was advertising that.
Oh, we're advertising it.
Well, because although we have this huge platform, this bi-weekly platform, we're not gonna go over the top with it. We're just gonna let everyone know. Please do it. We're not going to be overstated about it. We're not going to show crazy things on the screen.
We're never overstated here, John.
We're never going to be unprofessional about it.
No.
We would never call Mayor Bill Carl names or anything like that, right?
No, we're not gonna go over the top at all, guys.
I agree.
Just go to the website and just
vote now. Text 419 to 219-245-7030.
If you're just listening to this, John is blinking it in large letters across the screen.
I hope you guys don't mind. We're going to keep it on the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Even for Wayne.
Everything. It's just going to continue that the whole way. So text 419 to area code 219-245-7030. You can do it once a day. I already did it today.
Thank you.
And by the way, you'll get a response that says, thank you for voting for Mayor Tom McDermott Jr.
We also have friends of the show that are up. Pinnacle Concrete, Latitude Construction.
Smith Sursick. You can text 318.
Misprint.
318.
Yeah. Misprint Printing, like Smith Sursick, Pinnacle Concrete, Latitude Commercial Real Estate. I mean, there's a lot of friends of the show.
But most importantly, we need to make sure the locomotive stays on top.
That's right.
Text 419. It's blinking so you can see it. Text 419.
You know, while we're talking about mayor, being mayor is an interesting job.
Yeah,
you know, because like you get called into a lot of different situations that you don't know crap about because you're a regular person. And one of the areas of I get called in a lot is when there's a dead animal. We had a couple dead animal issues in the northern part of our city the other day. One of them was a wounded deer running around bleeding with an arrow sticking out of it.
Yes.
I
think we were in the middle of like, I don't know,
well, we do
down
have
south.
The area we're talking about. It's up by our golf course. It's called Lost Marsh.
But we don't get a lot of bow hunters that I know.
But we do have a lot of deer, bald eagles. Like we do get a lot of nature in this area.
Sure.
Coyotes, fox, stuff like that. And some jackass went out and shot a deer with a bow and arrow the other night.
Not smart.
And then obviously the deer didn't die and kept running and was bleeding everywhere. And so we got DNR investigating who's this rocket scientist that went hunting a deer.
I don't think a bow and arrow is legal within the city limits.
Unreal. So anyway, I got called on that, obviously, and we're following it up. DNR is actually taking the lead on this because what they did is illegal in the city of Hammond. So DNR is investigating. Obviously, the city of Hammond's cooperating. We have license plate reader technology all over that area. So we're doing everything we can to help. And then literally on the same day, I get called about several dead geese that are
dozens.
Laying by Wolf Lake, and there's a picture actually of like I don't know, 15 dead geese just geese, laying there. They're
mallards,
dead.
and coots.
And then I get called, and I'm supposed to figure out why they're dying, and they're in a lake that's actually pretty clean. Wolf Lake is really clean,
very clean.
There's a couple parts of Wolf Lake that are hot, but they're like pretty well hidden. Like Wolf Lake is the biggest problem I get with Wolf Lake is this is where a world famous company sits, Unilever. They're literally, if you're using bar soap in the morning or liquid soap in the morning, odds are it's being made at that facility right there in Hammond. Yep. The biggest problem we have with this lake is it bubbles because some of the residue from the soap gets into the water, and if it's blowing a lot, you'll see it actually start to bubble like it's your bathtub or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's some industry up there, right? You've got Unilever and you've got Cargill.
But it's clean industry. Cargill smells like corn.
Because it's manufacturing corn.
Right, and then Unilever, you get bubbles sometimes in the water, but this isn't toxic. It's actually one of the cleaner lakes we have, probably in Northwest Indiana.
Yeah, and I know I was reading that article, and there's there's avian cholera that goes around. They found 176 dead geese down in southern Indiana around a lake. Right. So there's stuff going around. It'll be interesting to see the testing that comes back. You're always interested about the toxicology and to see whether it's natural or industry related. In the past, when there was an issue, everyone was like, oh my God, it's lead, it's this, it's that. And it ended up being a disease.
If there was a place where we all gathered as humans, let's say we all went to Grant Park in Chicago and we had 20,000 humans just hang out for an entire winter in Grant Park in Chicago. And then through thick and thin, through bad weather and good weather, we all just hung out. I bet you after a whole winter, there'd be a few dead carcasses laying around because people freaking die. Birds die, by the way. And this is a huge gathering spot for thousands and thousands of birds
every winter.
And I don't think birds have funeral processions. When a bird dies, they don't bury the bird. They don't have a funeral procession. It just lays there. It's dead. Right?
Yeah.
Birds die, by the way. I imagine if you have thousands of birds gathered in one spot, some of them are gonna die.
Some of them are, and it's gonna be interesting to see if this was, how this was related. And it sounds to me, at least from everything I'm hearing from what the DNR was saying, is it could be a disease. And
it could be a disease like avian cholera, like they said. We had a situation in another lake that it was actually more concerning because it was hotter as far as impurities. And everybody just assumed, oh my God, these birds ingested bad
lead toxicity,
bad lead, and they all died. And then DNR came in, did an autopsy on all these birds, and found out it was bird cancer.
It was a disease. I forget. Yeah, it was
bird cancer.
I forgot what it was.
All of them. It wasn't lead. It was bird cancer. And so when this happens, and it happens usually once a year, a lot
of times in the springtime,
right? And then people take a bunch of pictures of dead birds, and they insinuate because we have all these dead birds that this water is toxic. strongly disagree.
Are they not migratory birds?
They do.
They are, but a lot of them.
Is it possible that they are coming from the south and they brought something with them?
That's absolutely.
But this
possible.
is a hangout spot for these guys.
Because it's very hard to believe that like all these geese are chilling out and then suddenly they keel over the next day. It's possible that they've been sick. They just brought it here.
Yeah, we don't know, and that's why it'll be interesting to get the testing back, right? That's why they do test. It's just a typical like instant reaction, like, oh my God, it had to be something bad. But let's just see what. Let's just wait and see what the testing is.
On March 2nd, avian cholera was confirmed among geese in southwest Indiana in Gibson County, according to the DNR. The agency reported 176 snow geese have been found dead in the county since the start of January. Avian cholera is highly contagious among wild birds, especially waterfowl, but it poses minimal risk to humans. Strains of avian cholera can cause fatal disease in other animals such as rabbits and mice, but not in other mammals.
It's interesting. We're going to see what happens. Well,
so anyway, so like I said, you get called in and... you want to bring in
let's
the
get
Olympian?
Mayor Wayne in here. I'm sorry, the Olympian.
The Olympian.
Also known as Mayor Wayne.
Yeah. So, when you're mayor, you get called into all kinds of situations.
Oh, good. Keep that going, John. Thank you to our sponsors, Misfit Printing, Latitude Commercial, Beam Longus and Neff, and the Ron Prestimer Insurance Agency. This is exciting. Our first Olympian.
This is awesome.
Is he here? Is he even
here?
Steve's doing a great job in the green room.
He's
Mr.
always on cue.
Mayor.
He's perfectly on cue. Oh, this is exciting.
What's up, Mayor?
It's not every
Long
day we
time
get an
no see.
Olympian.
Mayor
in
Wayne
here.
and I got elected at the same time.
Come on in.
You're still here.
Yeah, I
Get
don't know
up
if
to
that's
that
good or bad.
microphone.
I don't know if that's good or bad, Mr. Mayor. How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm doing well.
Pull
How are
right
you
up
doing?
on that, would you?
Yeah, there you go.
Nice to see you, man.
Now we
Good
can
to
hear
see
you.
you.
There's your headphones.
Oh,
Put
okay,
those
cool.
babies right
Mayor
on.
Wayne and I got elected at the same time.
At the same time.
That's right. We did 3 terms together.
3 terms, yeah. And you decided to stay for another term.
Oh, yeah.
Couple more.
I tried to leave
Yeah.
once. I tried to leave once.
I
and,
know you
was
did.
denied. You and I have a very similar history, Mayor
I
Wayne.
know. I ran for Congress and lost. And
Yeah. I ran for
You should
Congress
have won,
and
though.
lost. Not according to some people. Mayor Wayne Seybold, former mayor of Marion, Indiana. City of, 30,000 people?
About 30,000.
So I would think of Marion like around. Where is Marion located?
So we're about 60 miles north of Indianapolis, right off of I-69.
Right by, by Kokomo, right?
We're about 35 miles east of Kokomo.
Like
so,
in between Kokomo and Muncie?
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Well, so in between Indy and Fort Wayne.
There you go.
Like right in the middle.
So I called Mayor Goodnight yesterday trying to get dirt on you.
Oh, yeah.
He's got nothing.
I haven't talked to him in probably about 3 or 4 months. So.
Yeah, him and I still keep up a little bit.
Yeah.
He comes to Hammond a lot. He likes one of the breweries up here a lot, 18th
okay.
Street. He comes up, and great guy, as you and I both know.
Yeah. I'm
He got
a big
elected
fan.
same time as you and I. We were all together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I think he's living in Indy now.
Is he?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Mayor Wayne, it's good to have you.
Yeah, I'm
And
glad
thanks
to
for
be
coming
here.
on the pod, man. This is good.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, bring me back from the dead. You know.
No. Like I've always been a huge fan. You and I, obviously, you're a Republican. I'm a Democrat, but you and I had like a great relationship all the way through.
I think a lot of times
yeah.
mayors seem to just goes across party lines a lot of times because mayors have the same problems. They,
Oh yeah.
You know,
I always say, when your house is on fire, we don't ask if you're Democrat or Republican. We
That's
just
right.
put it out.
Right?
Hopefully.
So obviously, we wanted to go a little bit through your background and everything. And very interesting fact about you that I knew. One of the reasons we reached out to you initially was you were in the 1988 Calgary Olympics, right?
I was, yeah, with
that
my
is
sister.
crazy.
Yeah.
I just think it's so interesting. How does a guy from Marion, Indiana, become an Olympic figure skater? Right?
It's interesting. Yeah, my mom, who I when I came in, I saw her picture there. She passed about a year and a half ago, and
I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, so she would take us to the roller skating rink in Marion, and someone said, "Hey, you ought to put your kids in these group lessons." And so she said, "Oh, okay." We'll
Roller
do that."
skating or
yeah,
ice- roller
roller
skating?
skating. Yeah, and so we did that, and then we got into private lessons, and then
How old were you when you started?
I was 9. My sister was 7.
So
But this
before
is all roller skating.
all roller skating.
And you never ice skated?
Never ice skated. Yeah, and
That's
then,
unbelievable.
Yeah, and then we started competing in roller skating, and actually the owners of the roller skating rink, one of their daughters, and a guy named Jackie Courtney, who was from Gas City, which is 4,000 people, won the world championships in pairs skating on roller skates, and came back to Marion and said, hey, we're going to coach and do this, and actually Jack Courtney went started figure skating. And so Cheryl, his partner, said one day, "Hey, you two, meaning my sister and I, you guys ought to skate pairs together, and I'll teach you how to do it."
This is about how old? Have you ever? When was the first time you put on an ice skate? Like we're on ice.
So when we were 13.
That is crazy. And you're in the Olympics at what age?
So 24, I think.
So 11 years, and you're in the Wow, that is crazy.
So you were obviously a total natural, right? You and your sister both.
Oh no, we just worked hard. Really? there were a lot more talented people, but when you get to that level, it's like some of it's luck because it only happens once every 4 years.
Sure.
So if you peak too soon or you get an injury, you don't go. There's this talk about maybe not going to the
because it's right after Moscow, right?
So that's part of that, and then some of it's just sustainability, right? Can you
injury, right?
Exactly, and then obviously you have to have some talent, right? And you have to work hard, but I always say, look, my sister was the one with all the talent. I used to just pick her up and carry her around, and so I had the easy job,
So you and your sister are obviously very close.
We are, yeah. She's, it's interesting when we were touring, and we after the Olympics, we turned professional and went on tour for 9 years. We lived in hotels 48 weeks out of the year and toured all over the world. And,
really?
Yeah, I mean that's what I always tell people. Like, listen, we grew up in a trailer. That's how my parents paid for our skating. They one time they were talking about buying a house, and they said, okay, if we buy a house, here's what our mortgage is going to be. That means we don't have money for skating lessons. So they said,
what dedication!
So we're going to live in this trailer.
That's amazing.
Isn't it crazy? I mean,
and so when you're away 48 weeks of the year, like, what are you doing about school? What are you doing with your folks with you?
No, by that time we were. So that was when we turned professional. So
Gotcha.
Before that, we were really lucky. We had a normal life. You hear about these kids who, homeschool or tutor at the time, and miss out on all. We didn't do that.
So you went to school in Marion?
Yeah, we went to school in Marion, went to all the basketball games, and did other things.
That's neat.
And maybe had we done it the other way, maybe we would have gone to the '84 Olympics. We were first alternates in '84, but. I'm glad we didn't.
'84 Olympics was LA, right?
LA.
Summer. Sarajevo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place you ever visited?
Winter Olympics, right?
Right.
Favorite place
you visited during your travels?
Outside the U.S., I'd say Davos, Switzerland.
Really?
Yeah, it was beautiful there. I mean, just crazy.
How many pairs teams go to the Olympics for the
So
U.S.?
there were 3. And so it's really interesting. So skating is very political, on that judging side. So when we went to the Olympic trials in Denver, we kind of knew, like, they had already kind of in their minds picked who was going to be first and second. And then there was a team from California and my sister and I who they were looking at for third place. And then there was kind of the rest of the field. Now, if somebody would have really screwed up, that would have all changed. Yep. But if we all kind of did what we had hoped to do. So we knew that we were going to either be third probably or fourth, right? And so
third makes it, fourth's the alternate.
Fourth, you're just not going.
That's pretty
right?
stressful.
Yeah, and so we.
Then you got to call up Tanya Harding, right?
I was going to ask. That was going to be my next question. Like, did they know Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding?
Oh yeah, we knew them very well. Very well. Oh yeah.
Did you watch that I, Tanya? That was good. That was good, wasn't it?
It was pretty.
You probably
fairly
know so many people in that video, right? I mean, you probably see all these. Everybody, right?
Oh yeah, we know. Yeah. Well, what's really funny is every time like. Blades of Glory comes on I know because I get phone calls.
That's awesome.
I go, we are the real life Blades and Glory, right? Because the team in that were brother and sister.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is great.
That is so funny.
Oh my God, it was.
What was the year of Kerrigan and Harding? What
92.
So that was the Olympics
92
after.
or 94, somewhere around there. And it changed our life. It took us from a trailer court in Marion, Indiana, to all over the world. Right? And,
that's amazing, Wayne.
My mom used to say to us, like when we were growing up, she would say, and think about this. Here are these kids like living in this trailer, and she'd say, "You're going to learn how to eat correctly at the table and sit at the table correctly, because one day you may have dinner at the White House, right?" And we would laugh. And then one day, we didn't have dinner at the White House, but after the Olympics, we went to the White House and met President Reagan.
Oh, wow.
And what happened was the year before the Olympics, my parents they just ran out of money. So we started calling shows to say, hey, listen, we're thinking about getting out early. We thought, okay, instead of we don't have the money to train.
What do you mean go professional?
Yeah,
really?
go get out ahead of the,
Gotcha.
and kind of get on the road.
Because if you go professional, you can't go back to Olympics, right?
Yeah. So back then you were either amateur or professional. Now it's all blurred, right? But back then it was one or the other.
So now you could do both. Because I know in basketball they can, right?
Yeah, it's called. Now you're not amateur or you're called eligible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so word got out into the community that we were thinking about turning professional because we just couldn't get from point A to point B. And so our high school vice principal at the time, Marge Record, called my parents, said, "Hey, do you mind if we have a fundraiser to try and raise money to get the kids from get money for training?"
Yeah.
And so they figured out all the rules, and they had this fundraiser. And the city of Marion, the people of Marion, like 2 corporations gave $1,000 each. Everybody else gave like fish bowls and made crafts and raised $40,000.
Get out of here.
That's awesome.
That's
back
amazing.
That's like in 1986 or something. 87, sure.
Yeah, 86, 87. And I mean, it was crazy. And so, so when we went to the Olympics, we got a lot of attention. We probably got more attention even if we hadn't gotten a medal because of what the city of Marion did for us. And so it changed our life.
Do you how often do you put on skates anymore?
Not often. You can tell I'm like way overweight.
but like if you put them on, you could still like do twists and turns and everything.
Yeah, I'm not. I always tell people, they go, "Hey, can you still do like a double axel or triple?" And I go, "Yeah, just call the ambulance." Because I'm dumb enough to try and rotate 3 times, right?
Wow. Right.
Yeah, but the
could you do too easy or like
no? I'd still, it would be a mess.
What about one?
I could do one.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's one more than us.
About like I always heard that ice skating and skiing. I know they're similar. Are you a skier?
Oh yeah, I can ski. Yeah.
Are you downhill or?
Yeah.
Cross country also.
So I got this great skiing story if you don't mind.
Yeah, man.
So
we're gonna we're gonna throw up some video of you ice skating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I used to wear spandex. I got a great. Spandex.
You don't wear spandex anymore?
Oh no. But I got 2 good stories in that. But a guy called us one time and he's putting on this thing called the Jeep Eagle downhill something or other, and he was bringing all these old skiers in, but they wanted to have some skaters to perform in the evenings. And so he goes, "Listen, I can't pay you much, but you can go skiing. You're going to hang out with the Mayer brothers."
Where is this?
It was in Beaver Creek.
Wow.
Right. So I'm like, we
nice
are
place.
there.
Hell yeah.
Actually, never. We were like, I'd skied at Paoli Peaks.
Right.
In Indiana.
A lot different at Beaver Creek.
Yeah, but actually, North Slope, the Olympian, right?
Yep.
From Indiana. Everybody goes, skier from Indiana wins the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
How cool is that? I mean, so it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter where you live.
That's right.
If you have a passion, you can do it, right? And so, anyway, so we get there, and so Franz Klammer, remember the great downhill
Austria, maybe? Right.
Austria, yeah. And he's up on one ski, almost falls down. Remember, I can still visualize his whole deal. So I was going around and I was, kind of gigging everybody about, their skiing and skating and blah, blah, blah. And so anyway, so Franz Klammer goes, "Hey, Wayne, let's go. I'm going to give you a lesson."
That is amazing.
I'm
with
like,
the
holy
Olympian.
moly, right.
Hell yeah.
I mean, this was like
You'd be all over
76.
that.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what
awesome.
I was like. This is like one of my Olympic
Hell
heroes,
yeah.
right?
That is so amazing.
So we're on this ski lift going up together and just talking back and forth, and and I'm saying, "Listen, dude, I can tell you almost every turn you made," and so he goes, "Okay, now listen, when we get off this thing, you're just going to follow me. Just watch my hips. Like, so if my hips turn, you turn your hips. This is how you're going to learn." I'm like, "Okay, great." So anyway, so we're going, and I'm just kind of watching him, and then all of a sudden he stops, and I stop, and I'm like, "Dude, that's great." And he goes, "All right, I'll see you." And he takes off. Right. What I don't realize is that he maneuvered me to the downhill course. Now I'm not
the actual Olympic course.
Oh yeah, I'm not at Beaver Creek. They had this downhill run that they were going to do, and I'm not like I can ski, but I'm not that kind of skier, right? So he goes, "All right, I'll see you later." I'm like, "What do you mean you'll see me later?" And he's like, "I'm going," and then I realized where we are, right? So
there's no way out.
No, so and we're on that last leg where it's just almost a sheer drop. So here I am. I'm like, turning my, and then turning my hips the other way, and then I get out of the tree line, and they got me on the damn Jumbotron.
Well, we got you on our Jumbotron now. That's pretty cool. That's the
So that's at the Olympics. That's our long
awesome.
long program at the Saddle Dome. And
you could tell by just looking at it in 10 seconds. Obviously it's the outfits and
that's man. I wish I still had that body fat. Now I tell people,
is that really you?
Yeah. I used to have 4% body fat. Now it's like 40. So we,
that's amazing,
we were
Wayne.
just we were very lucky that we had parents that supported us, right, and that we had good coaching, and then in 85 we won. We went. That was our first time going on the world team. We were on the junior world team before that, but going to the world championships, and then we moved to Delaware to train full time.
Wow!
And
for the Olympics or get ready
for the Olympics, and that's where my sister is now. Actually, she was coaching in Indiana, but then our coach that took us to the Olympic Games called and said, "Hey, would you come and coach with me? I'm getting older." And
really neat.
She's in Delaware, you said?
Yeah. So it's funny when we were touring, I would say, "Hey, here's going to be my life. When we get off the road, I'm going to play golf, and I'm going to go teach skating in the morning, play golf all day, go teach skating in the afternoon, and then that'll be my day."
And then you went back to Marion and became mayor.
Yeah, exactly. and she goes, "I'm never putting skates on." Now she has her skates on every day, and I
Does
never
she
have
really?
skates. Yeah, she coaches full time.
Do you teach or coach at all?
No.
No kidding.
No.
I'm surprised, like a hockey player or something wouldn't try to get like.
I did. I just got busy with other things. Like when we first left the road, I went to L.A. and I started building ice shows in some music that toured all over.
Nice.
So I went on the other side of the deal and hired skaters, and then I didn't want to raise kids in L.A., so I moved back to Indiana.
Good for you.
And
That's when you ran?
And then that's when
I
opened up a restaurant, and then
What kind of restaurant?
It was called the Flying Pig. It was wings, ribs, and wraps.
Yum.
Yeah,
you
it was
go.
good. It was
started
fun. I would say one of the best days of my business career when the restaurant opened, and the next day was when it closed.
You know what's funny?
I got my life back.
A good friend of mine is Mayor of Lake Station right now, Bill Kerr. I'm not sure if you know Bill. He's after your time, but he was his ascent from business owner to mayor was running an Ace Hardware store, where like the town gathers. It sounds like a similar ascent for you. You have a restaurant, you meet all these people.
But I mean, you're known in town,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously,
yeah.
like
well,
a
now
star
I'm
in
really
town.
known.
Yeah, I bet, right?
So like
half people want me to move, and the other half glad I stayed. You know?
So like right off the bat, was there? So you moved to Marion from LA in what 2002?
97.
97. So
Yeah.
you're there 6 years before you ran for mayor.
Yeah. I sold some real estate and had the restaurant, and then the mayor at that time came and said, "Hey, you should run for city council." And I'm like, "Man,
That sounds similar.
I'm
telling you.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
have
what
it.
they said to me too.
Oh, you really? Yeah,
they didn't want me running for mayor.
I have no interest.
So
Right.
like you didn't want to be a council member,
but I did. I ran.
You ran for council?
He finally
and went 99.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, there's benefits." I'm like,
Hey,
"Hey, I'll do that."
There's no benefits.
I
in
go,
restaurants.
listen, I don't care what the pay is. I'll donate that back. I just want the benefits, you know. So I ran, and then won
At large district?
at large,
Mm-hmm.
and
Which is a step towards mayor.
This will
right?
this will tell you what's sometimes is bad about politics, right? Is that at the time I was really busy doing all this stuff. I didn't campaign.
No
like
kidding.
I just put my name on the ballot.
So you're
And
just
everybody
running the
knows
restaurant.
who.
Yeah, and I won.
Wayne is?
No one ever.
That's
asked,
as council.
Yeah, as council. No
Right.
one ever asked me what I thought, what I want, nothing.
funny.
And then I was like the largest vote getter. I'm
It's
like,
good to have a
Well,
good
look at
name.
Donald
Oh,
Trump
my
just
God.
won. I mean, I'm
here
not
we
comparing
go.
you to Donald Trump, Wayne, I promise. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he took the traditional route to the White House. That's the point I was trying to make, right?
right, yeah. And and then that mayor lost, and the other mayor came in, and I just didn't like the way he was.
Was it a
doing things.
Democratic mayor that won then?
Yeah.
What was the name?
Bill Henry.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bill Henry.
Yeah, and I just didn't like what he was doing with the city, right? And so I said to my dad, I go, "Listen, I think I'm going to run for mayor." And my sister was like, "Hey, don't ruin our good name."
Well, I read an article. That said like that she kind of got pissed off because they started bringing ice skating into don't put Marion on thin ice or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
and
they
she
did.
came in and she got involved in your race a little bit.
Well, it was really funny because she was really quiet about everything, and then he made some sort of comment about, well, they only went to one Olympics or something. I don't know.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah,
Is that all?
Oh yeah, and so and he said something derogatory, and so she called a press conference and just said, and really, my sister, I'd say that people liked me back then anyway, but they really had a lot of feelings for my sister. She'd gone through a brain tumor.
Wow.
So when we were we were actually in Seattle, and we skated at the U.S. Open, and so she, on the way back, she goes, we came home to see my parents for the holiday, and before going back on tour, she goes, man, I've had this headache for 5 days. And so she went to the hospital, and next thing you know, they say, hey, we're sending her to Fort Wayne right now, because they thought it was an aneurysm.
Jeez.
And then so they the good news is that it was a tumor. It wasn't an aneurysm. And so then so 10 days later, we're back on the road touring, and she's got this. And our Olympic team doctor at
she
the
made
time,
it back to tour after having it.
Yeah, so
tumor removed?
it was interesting. It was called a meningioma, which was obviously a benign tumor, but our Olympic figure skating team doctor was head of neurological center in Bethesda. So we immediately got the film and went out and saw him, and he said, "Look, you had this tumor in your brain at the Olympic Games. You just didn't know it,
Get out
right?"
of here.
And that, and so he said, "My suggestion is." Keep doing what you're doing. It's not going to cause you any problems, but when it starts to grow, you're going to have surgery.
Okay.
And so about a year and a half later, it grew. She found every city we went to, she would study, a major city, she would just study to see who the neurological person was. So she found this surgeon in Phoenix, Arizona, who was the top in this in the field. So so then she had this surgery, and then it was right on her brainstem. And so literally a year after that surgery, we're back on the road.
That's crazy. So obviously she's pretty beloved in Marion.
Yeah. So when she came out and said, I think she won me the race. She came out and said, "This is ridiculous."
Was it a close race?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah. And then
so beating the mayor is no easy task. Like as an incumbent,
Yeah.
you're a council member. I imagine it's a huge race because you're a council member running against the mayor.
And you got a little bit of a platform because you're a council member.
You know, it was really interesting. Like I just took a lot of the stuff that I learned from skating and business, but mainly the skating and the marketing side, and you'll appreciate this. So at that time, Marion was our TV market was Indy and Fort Wayne, and so
That's interesting.
I said, hey, we're gonna do a commercial, and we're gonna buy airtime on Indy and Fort Wayne, and they're like, no one in Marion who had run for mayor no one ever did a commercial. And no one ever ran it on network television.
Wow.
Right. So
as a council member, having that kind of cash behind you, that's
I raised
super
a lot of
impressive.
money in that
Obviously.
first race. So they're like, we're not doing that. So I said, no, we're going to do it. No, we're not doing it. I said, okay, we're doing it. No, we're not doing it. So finally, we get to the end. We have some money left. I said, listen, we're not going to have money left.
Right.
And then
can you imagine lose and you got money in the bank?
I'm like, so we're going to do this commercial.
I've heard that before.
Right? Oh, it was great. So
we've had these. I'm like looking at Kevin when you're talking.
So we do this commercial, and I go, okay, and we're buying ads on channel 13 in Indy because I did the research, and 13 was the most viewed network in Marion. And then we bought some on a network at, I think it was channel TV 21, I think, out of Fort Wayne. So anyway, so one morning, so we had enough to buy 6 ads in Indy. So they go, that's not even going to, I go, listen. So anyway, one morning we're sitting there, and here's Bart Peterson. Bart Peterson
Mayor
comes
of Indy
on,
at the time.
at the time, right? He's got this ad, and he's got the Peterson plan, and he's going around, and, please vote for me for mayor, right? So immediately after here's me.
Nice.
That's great.
I'm Wayne Seybold. Now, it doesn't say I'm running for mayor
right,
of Marion.
right,
It says I'm running for mayor.
Like he's running against Peterson.
So I get all these. Oh my
Peterson's
God!
like, this prick.
Yeah.
He's screwing me.
Who is this guy? Like, someone find out who this guy is, right? Yeah, he used to wear spandex for a living, right?
That's great. That's great.
So what happened was, all of a sudden, Channel 13, they come up to Marion, they do a news story, they put us on their website, blah blah. So those 6 got us all this attention.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, I just said, look, we're going to treat Marion differently. Like, we're going to get on the national stage and international stage. And I took some heat because I traveled all over the world looking for economic development. Like,
where'd you go? I went to China as mayor.
Yeah, I went to China.
What part? Beijing, obviously.
Yeah, Beijing, Shanghai,
Nice.
Xinjiang, Wuhan.
Nice.
I was in Wuhan.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I went to
now.
Pre-corona.
I went to Shaha, which is our sister city.
Yeah. So we had a sister city there.
And obviously Beijing, and then we went to
Guangzhou.
Man,
Guangzhou, which is I was in Guangzhou.
Great. It's like, honestly, like when you go there, it's like going to Florida.
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the buildings are similar and it's similar weather. It's like the Florida of China.
Yeah, it's
Love.
crazy. Yeah, and you know what people didn't realize? They like, we don't want these Chinese companies. I go, well, first of all, what you don't understand, even at that time, it was that there were a lot of U.S. companies that were there that were trying to find a way back, and they weren't coming back because I called it the penalty tax to get back, right?
And I bet your familiarity with international travel and being all over different countries, you're real comfortable. Like, you don't understand. This is an opportunity.
Yeah,
Did people across the world know you when you travel, like in China?
Yeah, well, and some did, but then because I was an Olympian, it just opened up more doors. And then we were in Korea, went to the ambassador's house there, and then we were in Japan, and then Europe, and so we brought $2.4 billion worth of investment back.
That is awesome.
Damn.
To a little, I mean, I don't want to say little, but to a smaller city in Indiana.
And then some of it wasn't about like some companies that were going in the U.S. were like, if this mayor is willing to do that, we want to be in his city. Right. So it wasn't. So we gained some business from the U.S. because we were doing that, right? It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, did people still tell you they miss you as mayor and they want you to get back in, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I mean,
figure.
Yeah, so when I became mayor, my wife and I would go grocery shopping, and so she finally said, "I'm never grocery shopping with you again. It takes too long." Right?
Marissa gave that up with me a long time ago.
So I did all the grocery shopping because I would learn more at the grocery store than anywhere.
Really?
Oh my God! Anywhere.
And you get stopped and people want to talk to you. And
absolutely.
Is Marion like more? It seems like it goes back and forth, Democratic and Republican
it
mayor.
Does.
So it's pretty. It's a
like
town
it's like 54% Democrat actually. Right. So I had to get some Democrat.
How about your
vote.
state reps? Are they?
So they're all Republican, right? The county's like 97% Republican, right? But
do you miss politics?
I don't miss politics as much as I miss the job.
Gotcha.
Right. I just
that's good to hear for me. I mean, it is because sometimes I'm wondering like, what am I? I've been mayor 17 years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of new people in the state house, I think Representative Andrade might be in the house here.
Oh yeah.
So.
There you go.
Look
at this! You're gonna be serenaded. Oh my God!
Hey guys!
Celebrate the mayor.
Hey, Representative.
Oh wow. This is good. Mayor Wayne, this is for you maybe. Who knows? We don't even know.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, thank you guys.
Happy birthday to you.
Hey guys, this is Mayor Seybold from Marion, Olympian. Yeah. By the way, 88, you finished
10th. Yep.
10th. Nice.
Top 10.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
Well,
this is Representative Andrade.
Yeah. Pleased to meet you.
Yeah,
Representative, have a seat, man.
He represents Northwest Indiana. He represents this area, actually. He's the rep for this area.
Okay.
Great young man, doing a good job in
First
State
term.
House.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Awesome.
You ever met an Olympian before, Representative?
I have actually.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Oh, did you meet the
good.
kid from Southern Indiana? That kid?
No, and I can't think of her name. She is a phenomenal young African American woman. She made the news about a couple of years ago.
Oh, is it Gabby?
I cannot think of
Do
her
you
name,
remember
but
Wayne?
she was in some event in
She was a
Chicago.
gymnast.
Gymnast, right?
Gymnast, yes.
Yeah.
Was she
That
on
was
the-
Gabby,
She
right?
did.
She was on the United
Gabby.
States gymnastics team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Gabby. Yeah.
That's your
Gabby
daughter.
She did
Giffords.
some Olympic.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah,
it?
That's right. Yeah.
I have a thing with Olympians, I remember.
Yeah.
I always
go.
remember, honestly, when we were talking about guests, I was like, Wayne Seybold was a former mayor. We got elected at the same time, Olympian. Yeah.
Awesome. And you're a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
John's
Oh, yeah.
crying
Yeah.
John's crying right now. He was all over the Lightning last night on his bet.
Right.
So
Oh,
he was.
yeah.
I was
lost
like,
some
man, I
money
can't
last
bet
night.
against the Blackhawks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But we made it in time from the state capitol just to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh,
we appreciate what you
you
do for the
come
city
over.
of Hammond. And,
Yeah, I appreciate you.
yeah, so
Who are the
that's
reps? Who are the reps in Marion right now? Because maybe Rep knows them.
Annie Vermillion.
Yes,
Yeah,
Amber Millie.
yeah,
yes.
very dear friend of
Freshman
mine.
also.
Yeah.
She works in the hospitality industry.
Yeah, very,
Medical
very
industry.
dear friend of mine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad she got in there. She'll do a great job. I think she does a good job at angering the GOP sometimes.
We like that. We like that.
I do too, Wayne. It's funny. It's one of my special knacks.
What is that, Tom? What we got
This
there?
is,
I got to
I
know
got-
Ann and her husband a little bit.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
lady.
Oh,
My
yeah,
tequila
yeah,
is,
very
Oh
first
my
class.
God.
has greatly expanded
tequila
since
stock
I
is just
became
growing.
friends with Mike. So
That looks
maybe
great.
on.
Yeah.
I have a drive this morning, so I cannot partake right now. It's a significant drive too, but that's wonderful.
What's Reposado? That sounds good.
Reposado is just what they process it through, so it's a higher brand of tequila. It's not your
Love.
cheap.
Thank you so much.
Don Julio or
It's
Patron
8:30
that you
a.m..
get. Yes.
I took Mike out to dinner last week, so
Oh yeah, there you go.
I appreciate
Yes.
it. He's such a great representative.
Yeah, that's awesome.
By the way,
Congratulations. Yeah.
Wayne and I got elected same time, 2003, 2007, 2011, three-term mayor of Marion.
Yeah.
You served that whole last term?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Did you know? I mean, were you ever tempted to run for another term, or you knew?
I thought about it, and then I just thought at some point, like, people were tired of hearing me.
I feel that.
I mean, I just think they sometimes they just need a new voice. And so
I sometimes feel that way in Hammond, where because I have a team and I'm set in my ways. I'm really set in my ways.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things I'm like, hey, listen, this is the way I've been doing it. So I sometimes wonder maybe if I leave and somebody comes in with a fresh look. I go through that a lot, believe me, because I was Lake County chairman for 5 years, and I quit cold turkey one day. I got a bad phone call, and I called him. I said, I'm done. I'm out. And I knew I wanted to quit, but I never felt that way about mayor. Still, I love my job. I go to work every day. I'm pretty happy about it, but one day it's going to come. I'm going to be ready.
Yeah. Like I love the job. I love the process, and I do some consulting with cities and help them save money on their health care and find ways to do projects and all that. But because you just, once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. I mean, I can't drive anywhere without taking a detour and driving through the city to see, okay, what are they doing?
Right, I bet.
I do the same thing.
It's like,
Baby up real quick.
Wayne, I think one guy you really like, honestly, Mike Andrade. He's a freshman legislator.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Like, I imagine when you and I first got elected, we approached it with zeal.
Yeah.
It's really neat to see how he's approaching his job.
Awesome.
And he does a great job. He's like going out all the time. He's making friends on both sides of the aisle.
Yes.
Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you have to be bipartisan, so you have to be a relationships. Relationships key to be successful in anything.
Oh, you're going to enjoy it.
Yes.
Good luck to you. I mean, I'll tell you, it's. I always tell people, you remember Ted?
Yeah.
Obviously, Ted Ellis, right?
Yeah.
And
He was mayor of
Bluffton.
Bluffton,
For a long time.
Yeah, I got so much
7
useless
years.
knowledge
Oh
up here.
my God!
Gabby
Bluffton.
Gifter, it's Ted Ellis. It's all up here. I don't know where.
It's Gabby Douglas.
Oh, Gabby Gifford.
was the congresswoman.
She was the
from Arizona.
congresswoman that got
yeah,
shot.
that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
See, I told you, it's just like
Yeah,
all up
it's-
there cluttered.
It's a little 52.
That's impressive, though. I mean, I'm telling you. But I remember him one time, saying to all of us, "It's the best job I've ever had." Right? And I remember, I forget what
He was mayor for a long time.
long
too,
time,
right?
7 terms
Yeah,
maybe.
right.
Yeah. And I remember, I forget the
Best
mayor
job
sitting
I
next
ever
to me. I said, man, he must have had some crappy jobs, right? Because this was like I hadn't started yet, right? And then
some crappy jobs.
and so I remember when I gave my speech when I became president of IACT, I looked at Ted and I said, Mayor, and I told that story. I said, I looked at the president and I said, man, he must have had some crappy jobs, but you're right. It's the best job I've ever had. Even today.
Yeah.
I tell people it's
That's
best,
awesome, man.
best job ever. Yeah.
So it makes me feel better. I'm glad I talked to you
Yeah,
about this.
it's it's tough though. It's tough for if you really look at what mayors do when they leave, there's not a whole lot for you to do.
Bam. Totally agree.
Because you make so many if you're a good mayor, which you are, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm just going to say this is that Hammond is very lucky to have you or have had you for mayor. I mean,
We're going to play that on loop
Totally
over
agree.
and
no,
over
but
again.
I'm just telling you,
That's
like
all right.
the things that you do and the chances you've taken and like one of the best things that you did and you kind of started the trend was this college bound.
Yes, sir.
Remember?
Yes,
That
sir.
was
It's
phenomenal.
still in place.
I mean, think about how many lives that has changed over the years.
Thank you.
Like dramatically
Yeah,
changed,
thanks,
right?
man.
Yeah, it was.
appreciate you.
Oh no, I'm just telling you. There was a couple. There was Goodnight was one of those
Yes, sir.
mayors, right? There was Bruce Hosier in Portland was one of those mayors, right? There were mayors that we just said, hey, listen, we're gonna do it differently,
Yep.
and so what happens though is when you do that, you anger people sometimes.
I do it all the time.
And sometimes you anger yourself, right? I mean, I remember Goodnight and I were at a football game once, and a prominent Democrat saw us together, and I go, "Oh, you're going to get a phone call next week," and he did, right?
Really?
And anytime I would say something good about what was going on in Kokomo, I'd get a call from state.
That's crazy.
You know what?
Republicans, and
That's
they
crazy.
They go, hey, you can't say that. I'm like, I'm going to say it because it's true.
I just complimented Governor Holcomb right before you got in here.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's doing a good job with the pandemic.
Done a great job with it.
Done a great job as governor, and I say that, and believe me, I take shit for
And
it.
Mike, you
Oh,
see it.
yeah.
Mike, you probably see the State House. He's getting it from his own
Dollar.
party.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
no, he does.
His
Yeah,
own party's
well,
fighting with him right now.
Yeah, but that's what I like about him, right? I mean, yeah, like I'm going to get my shot on Sunday, right? Because I'm over 50 now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't everywhere else,
every state do the same thing?
Every state go, hey, if you're 100 to 90, go get your shot.
That's
you know, if you're 90.
That's right.
And
That's right.
the only thing I would have done differently, I said, hey, if you're 190, go get your shot. And if you're a teacher.
And we just talked about that.
Right.
Absolutely. Right.
Because,
I mean,
right. You know, that's
and now President Biden's letting teachers get it in Indiana.
And
but
he's
it's not
the hero.
Holcomb. And Holcomb could have been the hero.
Yeah, right.
You know,
So,
he missed the layup.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But the process has been, because I mean,
great.
at the other day, because they can look at demographics and go, okay, in Marion, Indiana, there are 1,000 people that are age 50 to so we need 1,000 shots there, and this is where we're going to go get it. You know, for the I mean, I'm sure it's way more complicated than that, but at the end of the day, it's. So, but going back to what I was saying before is that it's tough for mayors sometimes to find work afterwards.
Agreed.
Because if you've done it right, you've probably made some people mad, and then and going
I must
back
have
to
done it really right then.
I was nervous.
Just keep in there.
Hey, here's the other thing, and I'm going to warn you because people warned me, and I didn't believe them, and it was so true.
I know what you're going to say. Phone calls. No return phone calls.
Not only that, your phone stops ringing. Like
Weird.
literally stops ringing. Like there were people that I talked to every day of my life for 12 years.
That's fine.
That
Mayor Wayne and I
I-
did the same thing. Jonathan Winesapple and I are good friends. We're good friends. He got elected the same
Yeah,
time as us.
yeah.
Jonathan, that's
Evansville.
exactly what he told me when he was done being mayor. He said, Tom, people I thought were like good friends of mine just stopped calling me.
Yeah.
And
They
then
won't
Mike's
pick
getting
up
the
my
opposite
calls.
right now. He did, now that he's elected, his phone, his phone won't stop ringing, right?
That's right. Yeah, you're going to get tons of calls.
Let me ask you one last question.
Yeah, before we
If you-
wrap it up. Yep.
So
we gotta roll.
you ran for Congress and were not successful. I also ran for Congress and was not successful. How hard was that for you to lose? Because I've been dealing with it. It's like a grieving process you go through.
No one likes to lose, and I knew it was a long shot for us because I didn't get in until 85 days before. Like so Dan Burton when I'd go to Washington and talk to him, he goes, hey, listen, when I decide not to run, I'm gonna have you. I want you to run. And I go, yeah, you tell everybody that. And he would laugh, I'd laugh, and he goes, no, I'm serious. And I'm like, yeah, right. So he called me and he goes, hey, in a couple of days, please don't say anything. I'm going to make an announcement that I'm not going to run again, and I'd like you to run. And I'm like, really? And I go, there's like 85 days left. And he goes, I know it's bad timing, but
So this is what, like January, early January?
yeah, whenever,
Right. February,
for the primary, right?
Right.
So sure enough, I mean, he held true to his word. He said, hey, I'm not running, and I'm going to endorse Wayne Seybold. And I thought, man, I'm going to run. And so when I ran for mayor, I rollerbladed every city in every street in the city, like 300 miles. I knew all the bad streets. So I thought, hey, man, it worked for that. So I'm going to rollerblade the district.
Oh, there you go.
So I'd get into a city and I'd start rollerblading around the district, hoping like that would get some attention to do it. And but yeah, it was.
Plus, you got to work out at the same time, which is great.
Exactly. But do I have time for one more quick
Sure,
story? Yeah. So going back to bipartisanship, especially at the state and federal level, when I got into office, Thompson Consumer went down. They didn't make an announcement. They just locked the doors.
And that's
People
a
went
huge
to work.
employer in
It was
Marion.
huge. I mean, way back to the 1940s. So we go to Washington, and at that time there were earmarks. So you were, if you had projects or you had something going on, you would go there and say, hey, here's what we're dealing with. So we're walking through the halls, and we've got our list, and we're walking past it, and I see Vlaskowski his name on the wall, and I'm like, why isn't he on our list? Oh, he's a Democrat, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't care, right? So I go in, listen, can I have a few minutes with the congressman? They go, well, do you have an appointment? I go, no. But I go, I have some good news for him. And they go, what's the good news? I said, we just surpassed his area as number one in unemployment.
No.
Because at that time, this area was high on unemployment, but we went to like 18.5%,
Yeah,
right?
man.
So they go in, and he goes, tell him to come on in here. So we go in there, and he spends an hour and a half with me. And like the first hour was nothing, but we talked about Notre Dame and blah, 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 because my sister and I had done some really cool stuff at Notre Dame. And he goes, why are you here? And I said, here's what we're trying to get accomplished. He said, okay. He goes, take this note, go give it to Dan Burton, and tell him when the time comes to hand me this note on the floor. I'm like, okay, right? And so I did that, and they go, you went in to see Vlaskowski? I go, yeah. And here's a note. Blah, blah, blah. They go, really? I go, yeah. I go, what's that? I go, I have no idea what this means because I'm new. Like I'm just, I don't know any better. They go, pretty much all your projects are going to get funded.
There you go. Well, I mean, I think that's a good story about bipartisanship, right?
It
goes
is.
to show you. And Mike, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but what I want to say is that meeting changed our whole direction in our community.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Well, it just goes to show you when people work together, and Mike, I know you talk about this all the time, Don, when people are working together, a lot more gets done. And this session hasn't been a lot of working together, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it hasn't because it's super majority.
Yep. So, well, I know it's a kind. We're running late here today.
Yeah.
I want to thank Mayor Wayne for coming in. I want to thank Rep. Andrade for coming in.
We're going to tear into the
big
cheesecake.
bipartisan.
I hope you like cheesecake.
It's not going to last too long.
Mr. Mayor.
After the show.
Happy birthday.
I would tear into the tequila, but I got to drive today. But I apprate this so much.
Eli, thanks for the song.
Eli, going to give us a closing song, I hope.
Yes.
Let's go. And
we'll end it.
What are you going to play?
Eli, come over here on this side.
I'll say. I
got it. You think you can do this? Do you think you can keep a beat?
Yeah.
By the way, special shout out to
Cowbell.
Scott Middle School, Principal Hicks. For the
that's nice.
Very cool.
That he sent me to the State House. So Principal Hicks is doing a phenomenal job in Hammond, as everybody knows.
Awesome. All right, Eli, take us home here.
Again, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for visiting Left of Center. We would love to have you back as a guest.
I would love any time. Thanks for letting me reminisce.
Oh, you're the best.
Awesome.
You're the best mayor, and it's great to see you.
Thank you.
Best
You
Marion
too.
from
Yeah,
Mayor.
Thank you.
Marion.
You ready, Mary?
Yes, sir.
Eli, it's all you.
I don't know if I know the words yet. Proud Mary, get out of here.
Yeah, there you go.
Left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. And I never lost one minute of sleeping, worrying about the way things might have been. Big wheels keep on turning, primary keep on burning, rolling on a river.
We didn't plan this, sir.
Cleaned a lot of plates in Memphis.
Obvious.
Pumped a lot of pain down in New Orleans. But I never saw the good side of the city till I hitched a ride on a riverboat queen. Big wheels keep on turning, Proud Mary keep on burning, rolling on a river. One more time, Mary. Rolling on a river.
That's Eli, everybody. Thank you very much. Wayne Seybold, Representative Andre.
Happy
Eli,
birthday, Mayor.
thank you guys.
Happy
Thanks,
birthday.
everybody.
Thank you.
Tune in next week for Left of Center. We'll be back on Tuesday. Thanks, everybody.